Karin stayed behind in Vegas for some well-earned girls' time, so Radar and I executed a tactical extraction. We needed to geek out under dark skies. We pointed the grill of our 148-inch wheelbase Ford Transit north toward the Utah border for a mission of pure science. We've landed at Dark Sky RV Campground in Kanab. This is a Bortle 2 sanctuary with a personal connection. It's owned by the family of my brother Ben's best friend John's cousin Jeff. Hey there, Chronicle crew and new friends. This place is very well respected for the dark skies and open environment. The only real issue, I suppose, is the mountains behind me, but I should be able to shoot up and above that. And I think, based on the sun being right in front of my face right now, that is probably east. I should have pretty wide open skies. I think right now I need to get the telescope set up. All right, so I'm staying here on the roof deck of Kitsune, or looking out over the Dark Sky RV Park. I'm in the Camp Luxury section. Most RV parks pack you in like sardines, but Jeff and his family kept this place open. Only 28 sites on 40 acres of untouched sagebrush. This is boutique overlanding. The bathroom area over there, it's actually quite warm. I think the thermostat's set to 68. She said that the shower, which is that gray building over there, has a more luxury spa experience, so I'll check that out. The general store over there. And I guess over there by that framing, there's a hangout spot for campers to go hang out at night. Okay, so we've got first light tonight for the Askar FRA500. Like an idiot, I didn't realize that the power from this 12 volt wasn't plugged in all the way, which of course is an issue because those 12 volt DC plugs are just notoriously fiddly. So anyway, I've got the Dwarf and the Ascar set up, pointing south. I'm on the east side of the van. I see Orion. Wow, the stars are really out tonight. I think this is Bortle 2. Incredible. So now I'm going to start the alignment. Medium gain, 10 degrees. Okay. Night 1 in Kanab threw us a mechanical curveball. The ASI 2600 Duo was returning Clover-shaped stars, a sign of mechanical oscillation and overcorrection. Think of it like trying to take a long exposure photo while standing on a bowl of jello. The loose gravel was shifting, and the mount was chasing the seeing. I had to stabilize the ground and the brain of the rig. So I swapped the rubber feet for tripod spikes and dialed the auto-guiding aggressiveness down to 35%. The pivot worked. We spent the rest of the night on the Askar FRA500 using the HA03 filter to isolate the chemical signatures of the deep sky. First was the Spaghetti Nebula, otherwise known as SH2-240. This is a massive supernova remnant 40,000 years old in Taurus and Auriga. It's a delicate web of shocked gas filaments spanning 150 light years. Then I moved to the Dolphin Head Nebula SH2308 in Canis Major. This is a Wolf-Rayet bubble created by a massive star shedding its outer layers. The blue hue comes from the ionized oxygen being energized by the star's stellar wind. While the big rig was busy, the Dwarf 2 was hunting the classics. Captured the Pleiades, IC354, focusing on the blue reflection nebula surrounding the Seven Sisters. It also grabbed the Rosette Nebula and GC2237, showing the central hole carved out by the radiation of the open cluster at its heart. January 10th, 9 a.m. It's 19 degrees outside. Radar and I step out for a bathroom break. On the way back to the van, I hear click. Kitsune had entered the Ford deep sleep mode and locked the doors with my keys inside. Because the van was in hibernation, the Ford Pass app couldn't wake the modem. My digital key was a brick that the Ford team couldn't force open remotely. They offered to help me out for almost $300 and a 4-hour wait. One local hero from nearby Ramsey Towing, and an hour later, and we were back in the heat. Pro tip for the Ford Transit community: when you exit the van and close the unlocked doors, keep a physical key in your pocket just in case. If Kanab was a shakedown, Cathedral Gorge Site 12 was the marathon. If the nights were for science, the days were for exploration. This place is a geological anomaly. Layers of volcanic ash, hundreds of feet thick, eroded into these buff-colored spires and caves of bentonite clay. During the day, we hiked about half of the Juniper Draw Loop right from our campsite. It's a 3-mile circuit, but we stayed in the maze area where the erosion creates these massive clay cathedrals. Hence the name. The dogs had a field day in the Siltstone. We suck at this.
And look how gorgeous it is. We're going to show you around a little bit. Right now we're trying to decide on a perfect campsite.
I am trying to scout out some sites that will be great for doing some astrophotography tonight. Right now we're in site 18, and I'm trying to analyze if this is going to be a good spot for us. Because while it's open towards the back, towards the south, where I'm going to be doing most of the shooting, there are trees in the way. And granted, I'll be shooting up, concerned that that'll limit my field of view, whereas another site further down has a more open view of the sky. Site 17 here, I think, offers a better view than site 18. And I'm going to check out 14 next over that way. But anyway, the convenient thing is there's a bathroom right there. There's another bathroom right over there. And I guess both bathrooms are heated and have showered.
And then what are you doing with your camera?
Taking a panoramic so I can have the AI perform an analysis and to help me determine which site is best overall. But clearly, visually, this site, to my human eyes, says that this is the best view of what I want to shoot, which is up. The thing is, that's great. And certainly this would be a great site for that. But for me, it's the wide open skies that I really want for the astrophotography. And I'm not going to get that here. This site might have been cool just because they have that little rise going up, but that site's occupied.
Well, we could take a walk and go see.
Have to walk around and look, but again, I'm trying to shoot south.
Oh, okay.
So, or I could just say fuck it and we park wherever just seems nice. So here are our options. 14, unfortunately for us, is reserved to the next couple of nights while we're going to be here. So congratulations, Yamamoto's. You got that site, which I think would be great. It's got a great view of the features of the landscape, but more importantly for me, it seems to be a great spot for astrophotography. It's still close to the bathroom, but far enough away where the lights, I assume that will be on tonight, shouldn't add very much light pollution. That leaves us basically with 17, which is the closest to the bathroom, but also the least obstructed. And with filters on and shooting up, it's probably not going to be an issue. We could take a look at another site, maybe on the other side, that still has a pretty good southern exposure, which would be probably site 13.
It's a little bit later in the day. Tree went to go get firewood, and then I think he's going to pick up some s'mores. But the problem is we couldn't book our site before we came, so we wanted to hurry up and get here, and we didn't arrive until like 12:30, so we couldn't stop along the way to pick up what we needed. We just wanted to get here, pick a spot. He needed a specific spot for his astronomy. Before he left, he handed me my jacket, water bottle. So it's very beautiful, very peaceful, very quiet. So far, there's 3 of us. That's it. In this whole campground. We have Wi-Fi. A friend of mine said, don't you want to go off grid? And I always want to remind people, we're about to go into Central and South America. We're going to have plenty of opportunities to be off grid. So I figure while we're here in the US, I'm Wi-Fiing my ass off. But also because we have videos to put up. And I have things to record, things to upload, things to download. So unfortunately, I would love to say people that live on the road are, no Wi-Fi and no this and no that, but if they're uploading videos pretty consistently, they're using Wi-Fi, obviously. They probably have a Starlink, and the Starlink can pretty much get you Wi-Fi almost anywhere, almost. It's January, it's not too cold, it's not too hot, it's not excessively windy, it's just like a little windy. There's not many people out here. We drove a pretty far distance without even seeing one person. Guys! So these two hate each other. Let me show you. Look at, hate each other. They hate each other, and it's sad because they're both little. So do you have to do that with an entire?
No, just enough to get the fire started. We just want enough wood to start burning so we can start a fire. That's what Tinder is. It's not just an app to meet people to fuck. What I do wish I had was my instant coffee.
Because if I had my instant coffee, because he's going to be up most of the night, I would like to see some stars. Probably going to be up for at least another 6 to 7 hours. Okay, I just put in the Hot Logic. It's 3:47. This was a dish that Tree made last night, and it was delicious. It was a curry dish, and it has rice and veggies and chicken. And then he also did a little cucumber salad. It's delish. So we're going to heat that up, and him and I are going to share that. I mean, I think that'll be plenty. I actually don't really need that much because we're also going to make, hold on, let me show you. S'mores. Whenever you go to a hotel, I grab like sugar, stir sticks, things like that. Come on. You always want to keep backups just in case. I used this for coffee earlier. I'll put a little hot water in here. Pot. So we're gonna pour it in here. Put this back in here. Okay. So I took sugar cubes that my friend had. Now where is the stir stick? Is right here. Put that back in here. Stirry stir. Stirry stir. You want to see what it looks like on the inside. Bam! I drank a little bit. Put it in the refrigerator. And tomorrow I can add some more to it in the afternoon if I want to have iced coffee, or if I want to heat it back up. There'll be such a little bit in here that I can put another. Tree will probably make me coffee, and then I can just add to it, and then it'll heat it up. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Because it's milk and cream, half and half. So I just add a little bit more milk. Makes it last a little bit longer, and I really don't need like cream. Here we go. Now, if you want to be real bougie, you could put a little bit of this into like a glass jar and then heat it up in the little heater so that it's not cooling down your, because this is really cold actually. So this is really going to cool down the coffee, which kind of stinks. So he has to plug in to over there.
Sorry.
It's okay.
So what am I doing? I'm getting the telescope pointed north as much as possible to make it easy for the polar alignment. And so this is due north, and most of my targets will be in the south on the other side of this mountain.
There's my boo setting some stuff up. I'm not exactly sure what that is. What's that? The gray one is a different type of telescope than the red one. So they do two different things. But let me pull back so you can see the view. Hello. But here's the view. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Let me get this side again. Gorgeous.
We returned to the Rosette Nebula for a high-resolution integration, pulling out the dark elephant trunk structures of cold dust. Finally, I targeted the Jellyfish Nebula IC443. This is another supernova remnant in Gemini. The HAO3 filter is essential here to differentiate the interacting shells of gas that give it that distinct billowing jellyfish shape. Night 2 at Cathedral Gorge was an 11-hour deep survey. I pushed the Askar FRA500 through a heavy rotation of technical targets. First, the Tadpoles Nebula IC410. I switched to the O3 and S2 filters here to resolve the Tadpoles, two dense streamers of gas and dust over 10 light years long that are being shaped by the central star cluster. Then, I moved to a wideband run on the Witchhead Nebula IC2118. Unlike a Mission Nebula, this is a reflection nebula. It doesn't glow on its own, but reflects the blue light from the supergiant star Rigel nearby. I even went after the faint flying bat nebula SH2129. This is a massive emission region in Cepheus that requires incredible stability to resolve its ghostly hydrogen alpha wings. I capped the night with a massive two-panel mosaic of the Heart Nebula IC1805 and the Soul Nebula IC1848. These are connected star-forming regions over 6,000 light years away. The HAO3 filter reveals the complex regions of ionized gas that give these nebulae their iconic shapes. Not everything was a technical win. My gamble on Ro Ophiuchi reminded me that the universe has an itinerary of its own. Ro Ophiuchi is a treasure trove of multicolored dust, but in January, it sits in the muck, the thickest part of the atmosphere right on the horizon. The light gets scattered so badly that even the Ascar's optics can't save it. It's a summer target, and one of my favorites, and I was trying to force a winter window.
Hey, Chronicle crew and friends. I would stay longer if I could. I really enjoyed it.
I could totally see myself if we were sticking around doing the camp host thing at places like this.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be perfect with the astronomy and being in these environments. So this is definitely one of the better maintained campgrounds I've seen. I mean, every day someone comes through and they rake up the cinder gravel.
Yeah.
The ranger seems super nice and engaged.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get it to you.
We'll give you a sticker.
With a QR code, you can. We capped off the run with a detour through the alien highway. Quirky pattern interrupt before we dive back into the final 24 days of the Vegas residency. Astrophotography is measured in data, but defined by the people. We met a retired couple from Hawaii who turned a 1-week trip into a 3-year odyssey. It's a reminder that everyone is on their own sea trial. Next time, the surreal reality of Meow Wolf, Red Rock Canyon lockout, and the arrival of a legend, Joel Nix. Well, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. We really appreciate you watching.